Frank Martin and Tank Davis. Looking forward to seeing Tank in action. What are you looking for in this one?
I'm looking for technically a really solid fight. You're always looking for something possibly explosive with Tank Davis. He is that good a puncher. But I'm looking for counter-punching too. I'm looking for good technique. Both these guys are solid technical fighters. Tank Davis is in my top 5 pound for pound in all of boxing. He's that good. He's that good in every area. Inside fighting, outside fighting, counter-punching, being aggressive without being impatient, without being reckless. Using his legs if he has to find a key to the door when he can't figure a guy out. He can move and use the ring to get angles, to give himself other options if he needs those other options. He's got the ability, he's got the skills to go with the solid technique that always allows him to use those skills at the highest level. And he's got the mind in the ring to figure it out, the patience, the ability to see things, to be calm in an uncalm environment, all of that. He's that good. And he's that dangerous because with all of it, he does it with power. And you don't have to depend on his power. Frank Martin is everything, just about everything I just mentioned with Davis without the power. And not too many people have that power. But punches are born, they're not made. And not everyone is born with that kind of power. But Frank Martin, don't sleep on this guy. This guy, he hasn't done it on the stage with the level that Tank has done it. Now he's going to get a chance to show if he's capable of doing that, if he is that guy. But up to now, you got to remember about a year and a half ago. You remember this, Ken? I think I was one of the first ones, maybe it was 2 years ago. I was one of the first ones to tout him. To say, hey, there's a guy named Frank Martin out there. I don't think anybody knows about this guy. This guy is a really good fighter, and he's just breaking in to go beyond prospect and to contender.
Yep.
The reason I touted him that way is because, like I said about Tank, he can do so many things. He can be aggressive when he has to, but his forte is to counterpunch. He's defensively really responsible. He can turn defense into offense, make you miss, come back and tag you with something. He can figure it out. He can switch, battle plans. If one thing's not working, he's smart enough, he's calm enough to be able to come up with plan B or plan C. He has been trained really well. He is a good, solid fighter. Now we're going to see if he can go and take that to the next level and beat a guy who's really a good fighter, almost a great fighter. Because I don't like to use that word great, loosely. But when you're the top 5 pound for pound in boxing, I guess you're getting close to being allowed to have that word possibly attached to you. So now it's time to see, can Frank Martin take that step with those abilities? The first thing I think about is if we're handicapping this for, people in my bookie, I'm thinking that what is the under-over? Because what I just laid out and described about Frank Martin, you have to like his chances to go rounds.
All right, the line on the over-under for Davis versus Martin is 9.5 rounds, over -125, under -110.
I like the over. Over 9.5. Frank Martin is good enough, I think, defensively, as I just laid out, technically solid. He's got the mind of a fighter. He's got good people training him. I think that the over is a responsible bet in an irresponsible world, because it's a responsible bet for as much as anything could be responsible in an irresponsible world called gambling, because that can go sideways quick when you're in there with a puncher who can bang the way Davis can. That can go right down the tubes. Everything Teddy Atlas just said. But if you want to play something for fun that's not, taken away from your family, I would say the over in this one, from my standpoint, makes a little bit of sense. At the end of the day, I like Tank Davis to win the fight. The reason I like him is, as I already said, he's such a complete fighter. He's fighting a guy who's a very complete fighter, but the difference is the physicality. Anything that Frank Martin can do, Tank Davis can do better. That's as simple as I can put it. And you know that song, anything you do, I can do better. Anything you do, I can do better. Robbie, get that song up, will you? Thanks. That for me would be possibly the music, the entrance music for Tank Davis in this fight. Anything you could do, I could do better. And stronger and harder. The difference is the physicality, department. He's physically stronger and punches harder. So, he'll counterpunch, Martin will counterpunch, but it won't have the effect Tank Davis's will. Yeah, Martin will go to the body. It won't have the advantage or the effect possibly that Tank Davis will. So, in that way, I like him. And also because of what I touched on just now, the body. I like the fact that Tank Davis is a good body puncher. That's important when you're facing a guy who's a good defensive fighter, a slick guy like Martin. Important to be able to put water in the basement, slow him down a little bit, make him a little easier to hit. And if you can do that, well, then Tank Davis can win the fight.
How you like this line? So you can take Davis at minus 725 to win, or you can take Gervonta Davis by decision plus 232.
Yeah, I'd take that. I mean, look, there's a chance that he blows it up for you by knocking out Martin.
Yeah, by knockout, he's minus 200.
I'm taking him by decision. I think that's a nice bet for me. I'm comfortable with that. I would take that. I make a parlay. Take him by decision and the over.
Yep. You can get will the fight go the distance? Just straight up, will it go the distance? Plus 157, yes. Minus 222, no. So you don't have to worry about the rounds, 9.5. You can just take
Say
yes
that again.
or no.
Say what is that proposition?
Will the fight go the distance? Yes, plus 157. No, it won't go the distance, minus 222.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I think it'll go the distance. This way, even if there's an upset, you're safe on both sides of it.